The beauty of nature unfolds in many different ways. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will encourage and endure as long as life lasts. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature. The assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after winter. Elizabeth P. Liz Kanof was born in Brooklyn, New York, to Dr. Francis Pasher, a dermatologist, and Dr. Abram Kanof, who was a pediatrician. Her parents shared a Flatbush office suite in Brooklyn and housed their family in an apartment upstairs.
Well, first of all, the desire to become a physician, I think, goes back to teenage years. We lived in a house where my parents' combined offices were on the first floor. We lived on the second floor, and so medicine was part of my life as far as I could remember. My sister and I shared a bedroom over my father's consult room, and in those days there were evening office hours. At 8 o'clock, we hit the ceiling with a broom, and he interrupted his practice to come up and read us a bedtime story. So the combination of family life and medicine was just something imbued in me.
Liz would be the one to tell you that her mother was her main inspiration. Her mother encouraged her early on to pursue whatever she wanted in life, and she chose medicine. Liz received her undergraduate degree from Mount Holyoke College in Massachusetts and married Ronald H. Levine, former North Carolina State Health Director, 3 days before starting medical school. Liz graduated from New York University in 1960. Her husband, Ron, who trained as a pediatrician, chose to join the Public Health Service, and the young couple ended up in Durham, North Carolina. While Liz finished her residency at Duke University, Dr. Levine worked for the Center for Disease Control.
Well, Liz is in so many ways a model, or used her father, her late father, as a model. She's so much like him in so many ways. They're human versions of the Energizer Bunny. Boundless determination and will and outstanding organizational skills. Liz has the unerring ability to pick the most compelling causes and projects, and not uncommonly 4 or 5 at a time. And she invariably accomplishes those goals very effectively with flair and style, only to be lured onto another cause before you know it. And yet, she still makes time to be a loving wife and mother and grandmother. And that's our Liz.
While they always planned to move back to New York, they both fell in love with the beautiful state and then decided to make a home in North Carolina. Later, she practiced together with her mother for a brief time when her parents retired to North Carolina. Liz is the mother of 2 children, Mitch Levine, who resides in South Hadley, Massachusetts, with his wife and 2 kids, and Becky Levine, who resides in Raleigh with her 2 children.
You know, she has a strong mind and a strong will, and you know, what she said was the law, and even more so than my dad. If Mom said it, you did it, you listened, and you know, it gave me the strength to really be true to my ideals and to my own values and not worry about, was I offending someone else if I didn't follow what I felt was the right thing to do.
Upon completing her dermatology residency at Duke University Medical Center in 1964, Liz served as a community preceptor and held several teaching positions at Duke and UNC medical schools. Her private practice of medicine began in 1965, and her interest in organized medicine steadily grew. She became increasingly involved at the local, state, and national levels. And in 1993, she rose to the highest position in organized medicine in North Carolina by becoming the North Carolina Medical Society's 140th president.
That whole experience of being president was twofold, really: a maturing experience, a wonderful one in the sense of the friendships that I made both within the medical society and outside of the medical society. And I think of all the things that it gave me in return for that service was the self-confidence that I could pretty much do almost anything that I wanted to do.
Her colleagues speak of her leadership skills.
Well, certainly her year as president of the Medical Society was a very unusual situation. She was suddenly without a CEO, and she showed tremendous leadership in concert with Carolyn Faree and Mac Mooney in helping us find a CEO.
No one will ever outwork Liz Kanof. She will not ask you to do any more than she does herself. Of course, the problem is no one can do as much as Liz does. But she doesn't hold that against you. She will continue to work with you after she's asked you to commit to something. You're never by yourself. She's always still with you with the project, whatever that is. And she doesn't allow people to honor her nearly enough, I don't think. I mean, she is very well known, does a lot of important things, but she does as much behind the scenes that people really don't ever know about, such as maintaining the flowers at the Medical Society. I guess a handful of us know that, but I bet you most people don't know that.
She was notable, I think, for two main reasons. Number one, she had a very strong moral compass. She knew what was right and what was wrong, and she was doing what was right. And the second thing, she had an incredible focus and energy that she brought to her work with the Medical Society. And those are unbeatable combinations.
First, Liz is a friend. She's a friend to everyone, and you sense that immediately in her presence. Second, she is not about herself. She has never been self-interested in her own royalty, that of her single specialty society, though she lets you know she's a dermatologist, but she's never been partisan. She's apolitical in the sense that though while she has convictions and principles, she doesn't wear it on her sleeve. And when she enters a role of responsibility for the family of medicine, she manages to maintain what I'll call respectful political neutrality. I saw that quickly, and I sensed that she was the right one for being a model and a mentor for the next generation.
Throughout Liz's illustrious career, she has been committed to organized medicine, charities, and pursuing her avocation of gardening. And while Liz Kanof is widely known and respected as a leader, she has become legendary as a kind human being who goes the extra mile to help anyone.
You couldn't ask for a more caring friend. And like most people, I've had griefs in my life, and I've had periods when I've needed shoring up. And she's a wonderful shorer-upper. She's a person who will come by your house or send you a note and just make you feel better.
She's a wonderful person. She's very warm and welcoming, and welcomes everyone. If any group that you're in, she is equally welcoming to everyone that's there. I'm sure as a physician, she was that way with patients.
She continued to utilize her strong leadership skills by serving on the North Carolina Medical Board from 1996 to 2002, serving as president in 2002. She has served as president and chairman of the board of many entities, including Wake County Medical Society, North Carolina Physicians Health Program, and currently as co-chair of the North Carolina Museum of Art, Friends of Judaic Art.
Since that time, I've become much more interested in the North Carolina Museum of Art, and the Judaica Gallery is another love for me. And just the experience of working with other people, running a board meeting, encouraging others to participate and be active.
And I think that her ability to work with people, of course, is sort of legendary, because she's tough, Liz is a tough person. She's a very strong person. She's a very caring person. But when she feels about something passionately, she's very hard to move. I mean, she tells it how it is, and she takes a strong stand, but she listens.
She has been the recipient of numerous awards, including Outstanding Young Women of America. The highlight of her career was receiving the T. Reginald Harris, M.D. Award for Service Quality, which was created by the Center for Medical Excellence to honor Dr. Harris. Liz, in accepting the award in 2007, said,
"On the most important occasions of my professional life, I have always remembered my father's mother, a tiny woman who, when the pogroms in Russia were coming painfully close, announced to my grandfather, 'I'm going to America with the children. You come when you can.' She proceeded under the cover of darkness with her 4 children, because 2 of them, at the age of 13 and 12, were eligible for the Russian draft. She made her way to Germany and then came to the United States on the SS Brücke in the steerage class with nothing but $50, a basket of old clothes, and her dreams for the new land. I always think of her probably at night, trying to get a breath of air on the deck of that boat, looking in the darkness and waiting for the Statue of Liberty to appear. She must have dreamed many, many dreams for her children and her children's children, but I don't think she could have envisioned this moment for her granddaughter. Thank you so much."
In June of this year, she will be recognized by the AMA Young Physicians Section for her leadership accomplishments. Carolyn Faree is one of many that have benefited from her mentoring and friendship.
She's the most thoughtful person I've ever met in my lifetime. She is the consummate friend. She's always been a good friend. She even allows me to call her Lizzie, and I don't think she allows anyone else to do that, so I feel pretty special. She has always been my mentor. I don't think she even knows she was being my mentor, but she was always there. She always lends a helpful hand.
She leads by example. She comes to you, she takes you under her wing. She does it in her kind, compassionate way. She teaches you this is how you want to be, and that's what a leader is. She doesn't berate you, and she works with you. She is a true role model.
The incoming co-chair of the Leadership College, Dr. Jeannie Comavies, shared how Liz has inspired her to excel.
I have always found her to be an incredible inspiration. She is one of the kindest, gentlest women who, at the same time, behind it all, is this incredible force of strength. And I think that's a wonderful role model for physician leaders who happen to be women.
What I admire most is that she's one of the fairest people I know. She gives people the benefit of the doubt. She really looks at issues and situations logically and fairly, and she doesn't prejudge.
Just when you've passed judgment on the perfect hair, the pearls, and the Talbot's garb, you notice the funky black leather sneakers. Then you find out she's hiked all over the world, including most of the Appalachian Trail. While Dr. Kanof is no longer practicing medicine, she has continued to serve the profession by chairing the North Carolina Leadership College for the past 10 years, helping to mentor and prepare physicians for leadership roles, both in the North Carolina Medical Society and throughout the state in the various capacities. Dr. Estes summarized her contributions to the profession.
We are in her debt. We will always be in her debt because she's been a major leader for a long, long time. And though she may someday, I hope not soon, leave the leadership role, her effects will continue for a long, long time. And Liz, thank you. We love you. Thank you.
Liz will in no way allow grass to grow underneath her feet as she tends the garden. As they say, more grows in the garden than the gardener sows. If one keeps a garden in your heart, then you will have a life of rich harvest. A compassionate human being, a caring physician, a lover of the arts and nature, a woman of valor, a leader, a mentor. Dr. Elizabeth P. Kanof is a Renaissance woman who continues to enrich the lives of everyone she knows.